The other Zoey is a romantic comedy centered on Zoey Miller, a brilliant but emotionally guarded computer science student who has no interest in love. She believes relationships are inefficient, messy, and distracting, preferring logic and structure over feelings. Zoey attends a prestigious university where she excels academically but struggles socially. Her analytical mindset makes her feel disconnected from the emotional world of her peers, and she often observes romance as if it were a scientific experiment rather than something to experience. The story takes an unexpected turn when Zach, the star of the university's football team, suffers a serious concussion during a game. The injury causes temporary memory loss, leaving him confused and vulnerable. When Zach wakes up in the hospital, he mistakes Zoey for his girlfriend. This confusion happens because Zoey happens to be present at the wrong time, and she vaguely resembles his actual girlfriend, also named Zoey. Zoey Miller is shocked and uncomfortable with the situation, but before she can correct him, she learns that Zach's real girlfriend, Zoey Brooks, recently broke up with him. This complicates things emotionally for Zach. Feeling sympathy for Zach and pressured by his caring but demanding family, Zoey Miller agrees to temporarily pretend to be his girlfriend. She convinces herself that it's a harmless, short-term solution. As Zoey steps into this role, she begins spending time with Zach outside of her usual routines. She attends family gatherings, social events, and football-related activities she would normally avoid. Zach's family warmly welcomes her, especially his mother, who sees Zoey as a calming and grounding presence in Zach's life. This emotional warmth is something Zoey has rarely experienced. Meanwhile, Zoey Brooks, Zach's real ex-girlfriend, becomes suspicious. She senses that something is off and struggles with jealousy and unresolved feelings, adding tension to the situation. As Zoey Miller and Zach spend more time together, their interactions move beyond pretense. They share personal stories, fears, and dreams, slowly forming a genuine emotional connection. Zoey Miller begins to notice changes in herself. She starts questioning her belief that love is illogical, realizing that emotions cannot be reduced to formulas or algorithms. Zach, on the other hand, finds comfort and clarity with Zoey. Even without his memories, he feels emotionally safe with her, which hints that their bond is deeper than coincidence. The situation becomes more complicated when Zach's memory starts to return. Zoey grows increasingly anxious, knowing the truth will eventually come out. When Zach finally regains his memories, he discovers that Zoey Miller is not his original girlfriend. Feeling betrayed and confused, he confronts her about the deception. Zoey admits everything, explaining her initial intentions and how her feelings evolved. She accepts responsibility, knowing she crossed an ethical line despite her good intentions. Hurt and overwhelmed, Zach distances himself from Zoey. Both characters are forced to confront the emotional consequences of their choices. Zoey reflects deeply during this separation. She acknowledges that avoiding love has not protected her from pain and that vulnerability is a necessary part of genuine connection. Zach realizes that his feelings for Zoey Miller are real and not dependent on his lost memories. He recognizes that she helped him rediscover who he is beyond football and expectations. In the climax, Zach seeks Zoey out and confesses that he chooses her, not because of confusion or memory loss, but because of who she truly is. The film ends with Zoey embracing love without overanalyzing it, accepting that emotions don't need to be solved like equations. The Other Zoey concludes as a heartfelt story about identity, honesty, and the unpredictable nature of love.